And we are live. What's going on, guys? It's the SMT. I got Pete with me tonight, guys. Welcome to the SMT podcast.
I'm
A very
hiding my
special
Reese's
Friday
mug.
podcast. Where are you at, man? Pete, what's going on, buddy?
I'm hiding my Reese's mug.
There's somebody out there with a big Reese's mug right now. Very happy. Could you guess his name, Pete?
It's like a pig in manure, man. Pig in manure.
Man, we got a lot to talk about today. We're going to completely unpack the big announcement. I almost feel like it was pretty much a leak, and it's just happened to kind of squirt out. And, we were the beneficiaries. So let's see who we got in the live chat first. Let's see who we have here, Pete. Want to go ahead and do some of the roll? Starting at the top?
Yep. There's me. Your boy Mo.
That ain't my boy. That's your boy.
It's not my boy. I don't know Mo.
All right. Pete's here. He's going to be moderating. We got the Mad Bird. He's moderating. Glad you could be here. Justin's in the house. Tom is here. Stacy's in the house. Brian is here. Gary is here.
Got Ron Garcia, DC Redskin, Tom, Omar.
The Vortex Digital is here.
He sent you a bone, man. He sent you a bone.
Timothy's in the house. We already got some super chats going on.
Yeah. Bones from Vortex.
Vortex Digital, thank you for the super chat, my friend. See if we missed anybody else here. I think we're almost up to it. Jamil is here.
Wolfgang, Jamal Matthews.
Jarrett's in the house. Penguin is here. Chris Estes is here. Willie's in the house. Ron, what's happening, buddy? Omar. Jamal's in the hizzy. Sean is here. Google user. I don't know any Google users. That's the first.
I think that's an anonymous.
Wolfgang is here. I saw Wolfgang in the comment section of the videos today. Good to have you here on the live stream. Digital Since. We got 40 watching, and we've got 10 likes. Let's get some likes. If you guys could, please go ahead and like the video.
I got 45 showing up on my bot. 48 showing up on my screen.
Well, we'll wait for some people to pile in here, and we'll get started in a couple of minutes. Jamil, what's going on, my friend? Glad you could be here to moderate.
We got Raphael for moderation, and thank you for the bone, Mark Boyle.
Thanks for the super chat, Mark. Appreciate it, buddy. Raffy's in the house. He's got the big wrench.
I'll give you your roll.
Hey, our music is here. Ryan Lawrence is here. Nathan's in the house. Ernesto from Puerto Rico. Jim
We got some news that's going to impact Puerto Rico.
I'd hope so.
Spread on spectrum in Puerto Rico.
We've got a couple of people that I know for a fact. DJ Gaiden Tech. Our gamer tech. DJ. Yeah, whatever. Landon. He's in Puerto Rico, and I'm pretty sure he's pretty frustrated with the congestion issues that T-Mobile has in PR.
Yep. Thank you for the bone, Kerwin.
Kerwin, thanks for the super chat, buddy. Did I miss anybody else? People still coming in. Damon's here.
Gary, discount code is indefinite, but you only get the first month for Visible.
Oh, is that how it's working?
I think so.
I don't know. All I know is that I've gotten like maybe 20 emails from Visible saying I got $20 off my next bill. So I've got $20 off for like the next 2 years.
Well,
I don't know if they'll let me use it more than once, but I've got a whole bunch of referral code credit.
That's nothing to shake a stick at.
Well, everybody was able to use it.
Though.
Yeah, that's true. I'm going to be putting. I'll be sending that phone out to you pretty soon. Okay. Looks like Michael's going to be ready. I'm going to send him the invite, and then we can get going here. All right, 1 second, Pete. Go ahead and finish the roll call for me, Pete.
Got Sebastian in here. Omar again. Xander Rendon. Think he's from the Discord.
Yeah, Xander's in the house.
Chris Estes.
Dude, the Discord's getting pretty crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it is getting very interesting in there. We've got a lot of new faces and a lot of new names in there. It's very active. It's fun.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
so I've sent out the invite to Michael. We'll see if he finds his way out here. Not sure if he's watching or if he got the invite. Hopefully he did. All right, who else we got in the house? Anybody else trickling in? What are the people talking about, Pete?
Talking about Discord, Verizon, got some Dish Network going on.
Got Josiah from the Philippines. He's in the house.
The merger
Braveheart's
does not impact the Philippines.
Braveheart's here. Who else? Yeah, Xander's here. My dude Xander. Tiny, what's going on? Tiny tapping. People talking 5G. James is here. Billy is here. What's going on, Stacy? You know, just the merger's going on, you know. Where is Michael? Wonder if he got the invite.
I do not see him in the chat.
Maybe I'll try it again here. We'll give it one more shot, and then we'll go ahead and get started with the podcast. What's going on, Matt Dub? Arcelia, been a while. Glad you could make it. All right, we're going to try to get Michael back in here one more time.
Hey, Randy, how's that A20 treating you?
Yeah, he was telling me he just got it. He said he was a little bummed out about the 720p display. But, I mean, that doesn't mean it won't be a good display.
Hey, it's fine as long as you're not trying to get 1080p video.
Right. So, like, we've seen this with iPhones.
Super chat. Thank you.
Heath, thanks for the super chat, buddy. Thank you for the donation. The 720p display thing, like, just on principle alone, a lot of people don't want a 720p display. But in actuality, there's a lot of iPhones that still have 720p displays, and people seem to buy those just fine and enjoy them.
My favorite iPhone of recent years, the SE, I believe, is a 1080p. Or 720p, rather.
I think the 10R is a 720p display.
Really?
And that's a brand new model. Got 91 in the house. Yeah, let's see if we can crack 100. Everybody give this video a like. I guarantee we'll hit over 100 if you guys, everybody like this button. What's up, Gary? Glad you could be here. Jar Cohen's in the house. Troy Hicks is here. I believe the A20 has a Samsung Exynos chip. It's a nice buy, though. It's a good value, Pete.
Yep. I'm actually looking at it as a replacement for somebody on my plan.
Pete, we got 120 in the live right now? No way.
Yeah,
No way.
120.
Really? That's got to be a record. Oh, okay. All right, Gary with the super chat. Thanks, brother. Much appreciated. What's going on, Greg? You know, doing this whole podcast thing. You know how that goes. I got 98 on the chat. I got 98 viewers. We are so close to 100. 105? How?
102 on mine.
I got 99. No, until mine says 100, we don't start. Everybody hit the like button now. Let's go.
Got 45 likes.
You know, everybody's been watching my videos lately and commenting on my haircut.
I noticed you got one. I didn't want to say anything.
And I'm like, man, my videos are that lame that everybody notices the haircut but doesn't care about the content. Oh, Stacy with the super chat. Thoughts on the Verizon 5G device, the new plan? Thank you for the donation. I have a video on that, Stacy. I'll be dropping that tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, 7 a.m.-ish. Be on the lookout for that. My thoughts on it, though, just to kind of play spoiler a little bit. I'm not a fan of Verizon 5G. I made that pretty clear. The device is way overpriced. The plan is way overpriced, and there's absolutely zero value in it. So, but I'll definitely cover all the details, and I already made the video. I produced it. It'll be uploaded first thing in the morning.
In my opinion, the best part of T-Mobile 5G is the fact that it's no upcharge.
Yeah, that's.
But then again, they said that it's not worth paying for. So.
Well, the thing is like it's all objective. You know what I'm saying? If you got a premature network, charging really doesn't make sense. You know, you're treating people like they're your beta testers. You charge them, it should be free.
Actually, you should be giving them something.
You should be getting paid, right? As a user.
Yeah.
You're like a crash test.
Especially if it's this millimeter band and you're trying to get it in a building.
All right, we got Servant of the King. He's in the house. We got Mustard Ultra Ink Stink with the super chat. Thank you for the donation. Master Bill, thanks for being here. Thanks for the kind words. Man, we got over 100 people here. This is fantastic.
I'm at 105 on mine and only 63 likes.
Yeah, can we get more likes?
Good ratio, though.
It's not bad. I mean, more likes would be awesome. DJ Gaten Tech, we were just talking about you, bro, and how Puerto Rico is going to benefit from the merger. All right, Pete, let's get this going, man. You ready?
Yep.
All right. So, Pete, I had lunch today.
Yum.
I was.
Anything good?
You know, like me and Yasmin were eating some food, and we had like lentils and rice, and everything was good. And I came to my desk and I sat down. I was just like looking through my news feed, and everything was pretty standard. Jay Owens with the super chat. Thank you for the donation. And, you know, we finished eating. Everything's great. I'm reading through the news feed, and bam, New York Post. Bam, T-Mobile News. I reach out to a couple of my sources. They confirm. I quickly produce the video. I don't even edit it. I don't add an intro. I don't do anything. And boom, I put it out there. Like, it happened so fast. Because think about earlier today, right, Pete? What
Seemed
like go ahead.
Seemed like a brick wall, man.
But like the ultimatum from the DOJ to Deutsche Telekom was like that.
Yep.
They're like, look, here's the deal. There's nothing you could do about any negotiations. Things have stalled. We're getting nowhere with this. Here's what the deal is. You take it or you leave it. And what did Deutsche Telekom say?
They took it.
We'll take it. Exactly. And like we've been throwing this back and forth. Like, what exactly are the concessions? So if we could recap.
You got spectrum. You got network usage. You got
well, you got Boost, right?
Yeah, you got one prepaid Boost. Yep.
Okay, you get all that spectrum.
I actually think you owe me a beer now. I think I hit every prediction.
Wait, so, but how is my prediction any different?
Yours wasn't. Mine was just more specific.
The one thing I would like to know is how much of each spectrum Dish is getting.
That would be nice to know. I think it's just a free roam agreement.
What's up, Michael?
It took about time. I had some technical difficulties, but we're good to go.
Welcome, buddy. Glad you could make it here to the podcast, man.
Sorry about the long wait. I was trying to get it on my Mac, but unfortunately, I think my Google Chrome extension is pretty crappy.
I don't know, man. Google's not really supporting things very well anymore, so it might not even be your fault.
It's all right. I'm sorry again about the wait.
It's okay.
But now I'm here, so I was listening to you guys while I was setting up, and it's actually quite interesting what we've got to talk about. And also, BT Dubs, for anybody that watches basketball, Miami Heat's where it's at. Jimmy
Miami
Butler.
Heat.
And Brooklyn Nets. I'm a homeboy from Brooklyn.
I like the Brooklyn Nets chances this year, man. Well,
actually, no. Give it next year. Give it next year.
As soon as KD gets back, they're going to be a force, man.
I got you. All right. Take it.
All right, you ready for this, Michael?
All set, man.
All right, so we've got this merger situation. It's been over a year. We're talking April of 2018. And every so often, we've gotten like a new roadblock. You know, it's been one thing after the other. And every time, the merger has gotten through each of those roadblocks. This is apparently the most recent one, and I guess arguably the most important one, because this establishes an agreement that the parent company of T-Mobile, Deutsche Telekom, is basically telling the DOJ and Dish, we concede. Whatever the concessions are, whatever's in place, whatever the DOJ wants to enforce, we'll just go with it. So that means Dish is going to get Boost from Sprint. Dish is going to get spectrum allocations from T-Mobile and Sprint as a merger. Dish is going to get an MVNO operational network agreement where they're basically going to be using the new T-Mobile network for X amount of years until they build out their own native network. And all of this is happening with Dish having full capacity access, limitless access to the new T-Mobile network. So essentially, if you are a Dish customer a year from now, you have the same service as a T-Mobile customer. The only thing that's going to be different is just the pricing, apparently. Like, what else could be different? Maybe some features. But like LTE and 5G wise, you'll be on the same network. So a lot of people have been asking me, they've got like all types of great questions. But Pete, like if we, rewind, we kind of predicted these things. We knew what was going to be involved in the concessions, and it ended up happening.
We did a lot of predictions the first time we spoke together on a podcast, and we hit all the targets, even Sprint being ahead in 5G.
And things kind of worked out exactly as we thought they would. The time frame has been a little bit off. It's taken a little bit longer. I'm just chatting somebody here in the live chat. I've got my own questions because we're kind of in the dark on a couple of things. The first thing I would want to know, like I said, how much of each type of spectrum is Dish going to get out of this? And like, what's really crazy, Pete, and Michael, you can kind of chime in if you are familiar with this matter. Deutsche Telekom said, we don't want any company coming in and getting more than 5% ownership of Dish. That's out the window.
Yeah.
That's not happening. So legit, like Verizon could buy Dish like a year from now, 2 years from now.
I'd probably throw something at the DOJ if that happened, personally. Like if Verizon could outright buy Dish.
I believe that's always been a possibility, though.
No, like if they could outright buy Dish without any concessions, and T-Mobile has to go through all this hullabaloo.
Pete, do you know how much Dish's spectrum is valued at? I know the number.
How much?
It's $20 billion. Do you know how much this merger is?
26.
$26 billion. But the spectrum that Sprint has is more valuable than the spectrum that Dish has.
You love that mid-band. We're going to love that mid-band.
Any T-Mobile customer is going to love that mid-band. Your 5G is going to be amazing.
It's parallel.
Unbelievable.
But Sneed, I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
So if this is all true, I think at this point, I think it is going to happen. You know, that we're going to get an announcement. But since Dish is kind of working under T-Mobile, since they kind of share that spectrum, wouldn't T-Mobile technically be benefiting as well? Even though they're giving, they still are sharing. So it's not like, oh, you have like your own. I mean, they've already had their own. But I'm saying, like, since they're all together under the same roof, wouldn't they both be benefiting?
No. So the way this is going to work is Dish is going to operate on the T-Mobile network until they finish building out their own.
Oh, okay.
So they're basically leasing space on the network.
So pretty much think of it like as like you're renting pretty much like
Yeah.
your own apartment. Okay, that makes more sense. I understand now. Okay.
But it's like you're renting a 2-bedroom apartment in Brooklyn for $500 a month.
Damn, if that was only if only.
But you get what I'm saying?
If you're renting a 2-bedroom in Brooklyn for $500, you should lease that immediately.
Yeah, for what would it be, Michael? About 2 stacks? 3 stacks?
2.5.
I would say honestly, like that's actually not a bad deal for 2-bedroom apartment because like in Brooklyn, because I have family that actually rent out, it's actually like $2,000 a month.
Right. See, that's what I figured. It's probably a couple of stacks.
Couple stacks, you're right.
So like what we have right now in terms of like you guys don't understand, Dish is making out huge in this. Bro, Dish was about to lose all of this spectrum. And then T-Mobile, in order to facilitate this deal, is basically saving Dish. And then essentially, people have said it this way. They're saying Dish is saving T-Mobile. I disagree. I think T-Mobile would have been fine in the long run. Maybe they wouldn't have, maybe it would have took them 5 to 10 more years to catch up to AT&T and Verizon. But I think eventually they would have did it. But this expedites it. This puts T-Mobile on the map much sooner.
I agree.
Wow, man.
And I have something I just want to say real fast. Honestly, like, remember when I said back, like, when we were having the discussion, I think Pete was in this, when we were talking about how, if T-Mobile was going to pull this deal off, because remember there were so many, like, tweaks and adjustments the DOJ was trying to do, giving up so much assets and things like that. And I remember I left off saying that if anybody could pull it off, John Legend could be able to pull it off. And I know he probably doesn't have much say in it because, I mean, even though he's technically the CEO, he's not the head owner of everything like you're talking about. But, like, I feel like he must have known something up his sleeve. He has something up his sleeve. Otherwise, they wouldn't have taken this deal. Because, to my mind, it's like you've got something in the background that maybe we're just not seeing, but yet something that might work. So, in my mind, I'm thinking they did this because they have something up their sleeves. So maybe there's something that they're hiding and maybe something that they could pull off for Trigger. I don't know. But in my mind, I think they knew they could pull this deal off because they have something, maybe something hiding.
That's interesting you bring that up. Did you watch any of the videos this week on the performance reports for the networks?
All of them. I watched them all.
So this is a consistent theme where T-Mobile has been improving. It's like, you strike when the opportunity is there. You never hesitate in war. And I think T-Mobile sees the improvement of their network. They add over 1 million subscribers every quarter. They've done that for, Pete, has it been 6 years? I want to say it's been like 23 quarters. So they've got
unprecedented consecutive growth.
Yeah, so like striking while the iron's hot is what T-Mobile's doing. And when you talk about John and like what he knows, he probably knows I'm adding 55 million customers. I'm adding 5G spectrum that pushes us far ahead of every other network provider. It's almost like they're willing to do whatever it took. They tried to play hardball so that they wouldn't give up too much, but I think it got to the point where it was like, all right, the DOJ is not moving. This is what it has to be. And keep in mind, Deutsche Telekom owns 63% of T-Mobile, so they're the final say.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying, yeah, it's a go.
Yeah, you know what's funny is like, if you look at the timeline of how this all kind of took, it's really kind of funny, but not in like a bad way, but in a good way. Because like, it started out as just two companies just wanting to merge for one with good reasons. Then it got broken down into kind of what I like to call the spider web, because when you're trapped in the spider's web, everything goes all over the place. Like, because then you got opposition, then you had the DOJ, then you had the FCC, then you had these other conditions. It almost felt like it was going all over the place, but at the end of the day, you meet back in the center, so everything kind of clicks into place. So if this deal we get that final say that the deal has been passed, I'm just going to look back at this and be like, that was one hell of a roller coaster. But in the end, I mean, it probably will benefit the average Americans. And for Dish, this is a lucky thing for Dish. I think they're the luckiest company on the planet right now, because I know their cable company, like as a cable company, they suck. And they needed something to keep them going, and this just might have saved them for the next 10, maybe for so long. So they got lucky. I think this is the luckiest thing that could have happened to them.
If they end up operating a network legitimately as a wireless provider, they can make a lot of money. If they decide they want to sell and they can pull it off, they're going to make a lot of money. Because what they're going to be selling is a bunch of spectrum, a network that's being built, a bunch of customers, a prepaid brand of about 10 million customers. There's a lot of value in it. Here's the thing, though. The DOJ handed Dish everything. Pete, right or wrong, they gifted them everything. Pete?
Yep, they handed everything on silver platter. There were, like, everything they wanted. They got it. No.
I mean, Charlie Ergen, God, man. He's making out like a thief.
Honestly, yeah. He walked in. He knew what he was doing. He was like, yeah, I got the spectrum. I'm going to play lowball. But then when he realized that, damn, they're giving me all this stuff. And all I had to do was just pretend I didn't want this merger to happen.
Wow, man.
It was almost like a game to him. Look what he walked out of. Think of it like walking into a casino in Vegas. You walk in with $5, you walk out with $1 million.
Yeah. James Cook with the super chat. Thank you for the donation. There's just so much going on in the live chat, guys. Probably the only way we'll get to you is if you throw a super chat or something.
I'll
Chris,
be watching too. I'll watch and see if I see anything, and I'll definitely.
Chris, at the moment with Boost, you're getting the full advantage of T-Mobile with this too, so that's nice.
Chris, thank you for the super chat.
And
at least at the moment.
I just realized something. While Dish got everything, like they've been handed it on a silver platter. It kind of falls into what you said, Sneed, Sam. It kind of falls into the point where you said that this puts T-Mobile on the map, because now it powers T-Mobile as the provider for Dish, because now they work with them, they're leasing and everything. But it also kind of just shows that you now have Sprint inside, but now you got to obviously make way for a four carrier. But everything, like you guys are saying, with Boost and all this spectrum and crap, it just shows that T-Mobile has all this stuff to give because of this merger. And I get it. Maybe it was out of desperation, but it puts them on a map in a big, big way.
There's a lot of people that are going to benefit from this. I think the first people that benefit are T-Mobile customers, obviously. Their network's going to get a lot better. Say goodbye to the congestion issues in metropolitan areas.
Mm-hmm.
Say hello to 5G on a grand scale.
That'd be awesome.
And then for Sprint customers, their network completely revamps and becomes better. Better 5G, more 5G, better LTE. James Cook, thank you for the super chat, man. Thank you so much. Very generous super chat there. I think Boost customers may actually get 5G at the same time as Metro customers.
They will.
That's crazy to think about. The prepaid carrier getting 5G, man.
That is a crazy thought. Jesus.
But who's going to buy the phones? That's the problem right now. We need
That's
some
true.
cheaper 5G phones.
You would
Yeah.
Boost would have access to 5G.
So would Dish.
However, for you to get 5G on Boost, you would need to get a globally unlocked phone that can take advantage of the T-Mobile 5G spectrum.
There's only one group of customers that is not going to benefit from the merger, and that's people that keep their old ass phones.
Well, they're not benefiting from anything, even time.
Go ahead, Michael.
Oh, no. I was just raising my hand when you said people like keeping their old ass phone. I was just like,
Yeah, no, Michael, when I say old ass phone, I'm talking like 4 and 5 years old.
Like
I'm not talking
3G
2 and 3
phones.
years old. I'm talking about phones from like 2014.
oh, that old.
Yeah, they don't have all the LTE bands. They're most likely on CDMA, possibly. You get what I'm saying?
I find that hard to believe. I only know one person with a phone from 2014, but even then, he's switching. So,
Two quick things.
Got some super chats really, really quick. Hang tight.
Thank you for the super chat, Pat Riccio and Matt.
Mauricio.
Sorry if I butcher your name.
All right, go ahead.
who? Me or Pete?
Yeah, Michael, you were up, weren't you?
No. I was already done.
Okay. Pete, you were going to say something.
Yeah, announcing some super chats.
Oh, okay. So, really, the only people that should feel compelled to upgrade their phone because of fear of compatibility are going to be those with some older legacy hardware. Other than that, most phones should be good to go. If your LTE has been good, it's just going to get better.
Or stay the same at worst.
Yeah, that's worst case scenario. You've got an older phone without band 71 or something like that.
Carrier aggregation.
See, that's the thing, Pete. Like, people say, "Oh, my phone is fine, my connectivity is good." Bro, AT&T is doing a lot better now because they're encouraging, well, let's say strong-arming their customers to get like Samsung Galaxy S10s because they're
trying to get them to pick up the 5G model despite the fact they're not businesses.
Yeah, and what's the point of buying a 5G phone for AT&T when you're not allowed to use it?
Exactly. But yeah, T-Mobile doesn't seem to be new T-Mobile actually doesn't seem to really shoehorn upgrades all that much. They may say after 2 years on a phone, they may send you a text message, but that's it. The ball's in your court.
Sorry to interrupt. I just saw something in the live chat. Somebody, Chris wrote, "I have the S9. Thinking about the 10. What's someone's opinion? Should I get should I go the expense or wait on the 11?
Wait on the 11.
Yeah, I was gonna say wait on the 11 because the S9 is still relatively a fast phone. It's a great phone in my opinion, and you could even hold out for another year because
you could go for the 12 if the screen doesn't break and battery's still good.
Yeah, and considering that that's the 845, you should be fine. You really won't notice a big difference until like that third year. So I would stick with it.
I actually used a S9 unlocked for Verizon on T-Mobile for a week and a half before I got my Pixel 3 XL. That phone was capable. I just got too annoyed with TouchWiz.
Yeah, the only thing I would be concerned about, like, if you're coming out of an S9 and wondering if you should go to an S10, you're basically upgrading for the processor. The camera tech is going to be pretty close. I'm sure it's a little bit better on the newer model. The hardware's, like, from an antenna standpoint, I think they would both have band 71. Both have band 66.
They do?
Yeah, I don't know,
the
man.
The only difference could be maybe 4 to 5 carrier aggregation.
As opposed to 3.
No, I got 4 on the S9.
Oh, then for the extra carrier, possibly?
Yeah, not worth the $1,000.
No. I mean, if you like the S9, I would say ride it out maybe another year. And then up. Yeah, possibly.
This is where I would come in. So, yeah, the S9 is still a capable phone. There's still people buying that phone left and right, and I still see people wanting to keep it. It has the same features Only difference is it doesn't have a third camera, but that third camera is really just, it doesn't do much in terms. It's just a portrait camera. The two cameras on the S9 will be fine. The very apertures are about the same. They've got the dual 12 megapixel camera rears in the back, and then in the front is already a 12 megapixel. You'll be fine. You got your dual speakers. Your AMOLED is pretty much standard. It's industry standard, so there's not going to be a significant difference. The only difference with the S10 is probably just a little nit brightness, but other than that, it's really just the same. And honestly, if I'm being completely honest and genuine, you're saving yourself like hundreds of dollars, and you'll still get the same performance because Samsung One UI supports that. So I think the S9 is still a reasonable buy, even the Note 9.
I think the S9 Plus also has two cameras on the front. So if you wanted some special, that dual aperture thing going on in the front on the selfies, you could do the Plus and get a larger battery, and stuff like that. Might be nice.
That's what I was talking about, the S9 Plus. The S9 is just your standard. It's really a one camera, but still, it's a great phone. I think, honestly, if I'm being real here, if you had $500 to spend, you came to me and asked me, I need an Android phone, I would either recommend the Google Pixel 3a or the S9 Plus or S9.
I believe the S10e, brand new, is now close to $500. It's like $550 or something, $600. People are getting it on eBay used for under $500.
Yeah, I saw that, but I would never trust it because, like, sometimes on eBay, you never know if somebody's telling the truth or not. eBay has always been risky, but recently, though, they've had some major sales. So they had the Galaxy sale, the 10th anniversary. They usually have, like, Christmas and July sale, and usually whenever they have their Unpacked event, which is in August, which I will be attending, by the way, I got in contact with Samsung. They are allowing me admission.
Nice.
They usually do a big sale for that, so you should definitely always wait for whenever they're going to announce something new, because they usually do drop the price, or just wait whenever there's a sale.
Pete, what are you doing if you are a Sprint customer right now?
Status quo, waiting to get off extended LTE.
Are you thinking to yourself, am I worried about my plan? Are my prices going to change?
You shouldn't be. The only time you should actually, there is one plan you should worry about, and T-Mobile is probably definitely going to get rid of this one. The free one.
Yeah,
I never understood that about Sprint giving away free lines and then talking about.
You're not going to keep your same free line. You'll be asked to get a magenta, but if you're on a paid line with unlimited data, etc., the main difference you may notice is losing title.
Do you think that $25 startup plan is going to work?
It might.
So they'll probably put them on an entry-level essential plan.
It might. Well, they'd get the same features, but they might even get the same price until the promo expires. Because T-Mobile does bring your promo.
Yeah, but they would never match the $25 plan. Chris Wright, thank you for the super chat.
Oh, not indefinitely, but like you might get a year out of that.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Add-in, it would take about 3 years to merge the spectrums. Neville is going to have to convert the Sprint spectrum. Some of it was allotted as CDMA over to the T-Mobile spectrum. He did the same thing with Metro PCS.
Chris Wright with another super chat. Chris Wright's just throwing dollars at us. I think he thinks we have a weird night job or something like that.
God, these headphones are really uncomfortable. I can't wait till I upgrade.
Upgrades are good. I saw something. Heath Gaskill says, what free plan? So right around like the end of every quarter, right before Sprint has to like give its sales and numbers and all of its performance metrics to its shareholders, what they do is they do a special where they offer you a free line. You just have to pay tax. And it helps kind of bloat their numbers so it looks like they're not losing customers. So some people still have it, and I think they honor it up to a year.
Yep, after a year, but they're probably going to be like, your year expired, we own you.
Yeah, so
which
you need a new
is
plan.
perfectly reasonable.
Nobody should be getting a free line. What the hell?
Yeah, it's perfectly reasonable to say your year's up.
James Cook with the $5 super chat. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate the generosity and the kindness. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I'm all about the consumer getting a good deal, but free line's just bad business.
No, it's to buffer stock because most of your value comes from stock. It's bad return on investment, but it's good to boost stock prices.
Well, that's the thing, is you're trying to manipulate the market. You're not really trying to make money.
Yeah, you're just doing market manipulation, which is why they're probably going to be like, you got to get a Magenta to those free guys.
Which is why Sprint has agencies in their books all the damn time.
Yep.
They're always like, wait a minute, you're crying broke, and then you're showing growth. How does this work?
It's because we're giving free lines.
Ridiculous, man. It doesn't make any sense. I've never seen a successful business that gives free stuff away in order to keep their customers. I mean, even little kids sell lemonades at a lemonade stand for 25 cents, Jeez, man, I'm driving by. It's like 100 degrees outside. They know what they're doing, trying to turn a profit. 50 cents for a cup.
Give them a buck. It's hot out.
What if you paid your cell phone bill based on performance, man? Like you paid for certain speeds, you paid for certain gigs of usage, like, kind of like a la carte,
Actually, I wouldn't mind a la carte.
Dude, what is that sound?
Oh, that was me. I just turned the volume up.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't mind an a la carte. I get some lines that do next to nothing, but some lines that, like, give me a capped a la carte.
I want to give a big shout out to Chris Estes for providing a PayPal donation to the SMT channel. Chris Estes, you will be sponsoring the next SMT video. So thank you for that donation. Much appreciated.
Hey, the next video, is it dropping Sunday with you know what I'm getting at?
So actually, my uploads are completely backed up. This whole merger announcement thing just like shook everything in my schedule. Because right now I have 2 videos that I'm working on, 2 videos that I already produced that need to be released. And I have a feeling that Monday through Wednesday is going to be all merger bubbling, like I'm going to be looking for stories. I'm going to be trying to find, sources on certain details. We could get an announcement, an official announcement. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to squeeze these videos out, but Nintendo 504, thank you for the super chat. It says, what is the stipulation of the merger?
Watch my first podcast. We went over it.
That's crazy, Pete. A year ago, we kind of predicted it. Brian, big thing is what's going to happen to the Sprint guy. He's going to have to go work for AT&T or something.
He's already working for AT&T, and I still can't hear him. They need another feed to allow you to hear.
He originally worked for Verizon, and then he moved to Sprint. So all that's left is maybe he's part of the merger. Maybe he's in the concessions. Macon Del Rahim's going to have him up there at the podium. Says, hey, we're going to throw this guy in the deal to sweeten the pot. So what's going on in here? I haven't really been paying too much attention.
So I'm actually curious if, like, in the final briefing, we'll probably get Monday or Tuesday, because you got to make sure the I's are spelled correctly.
Right.
If they're gonna say, okay, Dish, you have longer than March 2020 to develop your frequency.
Well, they're gonna definitely give him a date. They're going to tell him, here's how long you have to build out the spectrum, build out the network. Are we in agreement it's going to be 3 years?
I'm expecting 3 years, despite the fact they've had a lot of practice with Metro PCS.
Well, I'm not worried about T-Mobile. I'm more worried about Dish.
Oh, I'm giving Dish 5 years.
Some people were speculating 7 years.
This is Dish. They're going to start building so the FCC gets off their back. They're going to wait out a statute of limitation, and then Verizon, Comcast, or Charter is going to buy them.
All right, Pete, we like to do predictions, you and I.
Yep.
I think once this deal finishes up, I think the DOJ walks away. They're going to say our job is done.
Yep.
FCC
is going to have to.
They are going to be on Charlie Ergen's ass.
Yep.
They're going to be on him like crazy. They don't trust him. Can you blame him?
I don't trust him.
Like, you want to talk about like shrewd, a guy who's considered a hoarder of spectrum. Like, people don't believe that he's even going to build out the network. They're like, I don't trust it. I think he's going to sell. And there's no protections to keep him from selling.
I just hope they don't allow if Dish ends up selling or being bought out. I just hope they don't allow the free reign of T-Mobile spectrum.
Michael, could you track something in the live chat for me, please?
What's up?
I'm going to ask a question. Michael's going to keep his eye out for the feedback. Let me know in the live chat. Just type the number 1. Just the number. Type the number 1 if you think Dish will legitimately build out and finish a wireless network. Type the number 2 if you think Dish will sell before they even finish building out the network. I want to know the pulse of the people, because there's a lot of people that doubt Charlie Ergen and doubt Dish's ability to get this job done. Because to us, the only thing that matters is a legitimate fourth carrier that creates more competition. You get what I'm saying?
Sweet Jesus.
We've got like 5-1 so far.
I have already keeping an eye out, and already I can see it's a landslide.
Oh, come on. Your boy Mo with a 1.5. What
yeah,
the hell
I was about to call
that?
him out. I was about to call him out. He said 1.5.
He's a one.
Okay, Raffy, put that guy on timeout.
That ain't my boy Mo. That's your boy Mo.
He's going on timeout. Mo, I'm sorry.
Bro, I don't trust Charlie to get the job done, because there are people that are close to the situation that have said T-Mobile has been looking for a secondary buyer in case things fall with Charlie Ergen. Was that a ploy, a negotiating ploy? I don't know. But like, this is coming from different places. They're saying Charlie isn't known to be able to cross the finish line. So I don't know, man. I'm hitting
2 works, by the way. It means you're on the fence.
I'm hitting 2 on that.
And I'm gonna put my spin in there.
Oh, so big announcement with this. This means we're not going to have Trump Mobile. We are not going to make 1X better again.
Oh my God, man. You know what's crazy?
Could you imagine Twitter without images? That'd actually be usable.
What I'm very concerned about when it comes to like the rest of the way, Michael, we've talked about this. You could chime in, man. The politics of the attorneys general, the legal representation we're going to see with the court proceedings. Do you think that's enough to get in the way of the merger? I feel like there's enough steam now because the DOJ did what they had to do. They set their concessions. They got what they wanted. It looks like everything is set from the DOJ side. Do you think this holds up in court?
I don't think so. And the reason I don't think so is because the DOJ was technically the final say in all this. They were the ones that kind of made sure that the deal is supposed to go through whatever they see fit, and they're kind of the ones that have to go, we approve. I think that they're going to try to find a way to counter that with trust, and also I feel like they're going to try to use the whole big corporation argument because, again, you got to remember, these are Democrats that are suing, not Republicans, because Republicans could give a crap less about that.
Actually, I think some of the new ones are Republicans. It seems to be bipartisan.
All right, so if it's bipartisan, then you got a few in there. So it's a mix of both. But anyway, regardless of that, I think they're going to try to find some counter. But if the DOJ knows what they had to do in this whole situation to make sure that this deal had to go through, then if they have to, testify to, approve the merger again and say why they did it, I don't think there'll be any more court case. I think that the case will be over because the DOJ did what they had to do.
I think the DOJ did enough personally. I mean, if you think about it, the DOJ actually did what the FCC was supposed to do.
Pretty much.
I've never had faith in Ajit Pai. I mean, he's a piece of crap in my opinion. He has done nothing to protect customers' rights. And he's probably been the biggest problem to cable provider services. Pete, we've talked about this a bunch of times.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he is not pro-consumer at all on any level. So but I do think the DOJ basically said, we're going to make it so your case stands up in court. We're going to make a fourth carrier. We're going to pick them, but we're going to make it. We're going to make them competitive. We're going to get them concessions that helps them win. You guys take it from here. So Macon Del Rahim will have a legacy that I did what I could. I did the best thing for this merger. What happens from here is on you guys. So what happens with the attorneys general? I think this deal is going to proceed. I don't think it's going to be held up too long. Pete, when do you think this whole thing finishes up?
Finishes by legally?
Yeah.
August 2.
So you're going August of this year?
Yeah.
I'm talking about with the court proceedings in October.
I'm saying it goes, okay, we're good. You can build out August 2nd. October shows up and they go, this isn't a case.
Do you think that the states back out completely and just say to hell with it?
I mean, they can try to keep suing. Everybody can keep suing, but if the DOJ says this is in the trust of the people and the FCC says this is good development, the only thing the states can complain about is if Verizon and AT&T are giving them kickbacks, so they protest the merger.
Well, I'm actually with Pete on this one. I think that when the October trial comes, and if they do get the okay to start the build out, I think there really won't be a case. But again, you're right. They're going to try to sue. They're going to try to counter. They'll be appealing up the ass. Excuse my language. But anyway, I don't think ass.
You're on timeout.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
But I think they're just going to keep trying to appeal or try to find some reason. But at the end of the day, the DOJ did what they had to do in the best interest of the people, whether we agree or disagree. And at the end of the day, if it passes, that's all that matters.
The state's attorneys general thing is interesting because the final appellate already said it can happen. So T-Mobile could appeal any decision about blocking it, and it would just go up another level. With this type of thing, the DOJ decides it, not the Supreme Court. We've already had a green light from the Antitrust Division.
So when the judge sees that, it's like, you guys better have you guys better have a really good argument, or else this looks ridiculous. Michael, you gave me some important insight from the first initial pretrial. All right, so the terminology and the vernacular that we heard from the pretrial, the states looked bad. They spoke from one side of their mouth and the other, saying that we need more competition. We have lots of competition. And then they said, but they always signal to each other when they want to do something with pricing. So they look bad as it is. Honestly, I don't think the case is going to hold up very well. I would expect closure on the deal completely by December. So you'll have that October court date. I think maybe you get a November court date. I think we get closure in December. And I think we actually have Dish Network in Q1 of 2020.
It's a possibility. You know, it's a very big possibility. You remember when I told you when the court case, the hearing started? Remember I disclosed you the info from my friends that were there?
Yeah.
At this point, it's kind of public at this point because they had to, you know, let it know so they can hear this. So when I told you what they saw in the courtroom, the judge almost kind of just like, he was. Remember when I told you the judge didn't take this seriously because he felt like this was just a joke? But not because of the merger or anything, just because their argument was just legitimately a joke. And I still stand by what my friends told me. Everybody in that courtroom knew this case wasn't going to last. They knew in October it wasn't going to last. The lawyers knew it. The other side knew it. Me, T-Mobile, and Sprint. The judge knew it. And even the reporters knew it. Because this argument that they're placing is just ridiculous. And that's why they made it in October, because the judge had a feeling, this is their opinion, by the way, not mine. They felt that they were going to reach a deal before the trial. So that way the case doesn't have to happen. That's why he said it in October, because he figured they'll sort this stuff out before October. That's why I say, and I believe my friends when they say this, and if you guys are wondering in the live chat, these are people that I know that work for New York Times. These are guys that are close family friends, keeping their names private. But this is why they think that this is all a joke. Them, not me, them. And I agree with them, though.
Yeah, I think the case doesn't hold up very well. I like the chances of either the state's attorneys generals just backing away and saying, all right, to hell with it. Or, they follow through for a couple of court dates and then it's, well, the DOJ said it's good. The FCC says it's good. What are we really fighting? I would want to know, like, for anybody, and Pete, you could chime in on this. This is right up your wheelhouse. Postpaid pricing is going to go up.
That's inevitable.
And it has nothing to do with this merger. This merger could stop tomorrow and pricing will still increase in the near future. The dawn of 5G is upon us. These people, these companies are going to be investing billions of dollars every year for the next 10 years on 5G. Pricing's going up regardless. The merger is infinitesimal. It's irrelevant to the pricing going up. The only thing that I actually see pricing-wise that's actually going to work well are prepaid customers. I think their pricing stays the same for a while. Pete, your take?
It's going to stay the same for a while for prepaid, especially since, they're catering to a different segment of the market than postpaid. And you do not get like, you don't get sustained revenue through prepaid. You basically use prepaid to pay down the debt that you can collect using your postpaid revenue as collateral. So prepaid is fine. It doesn't go up, but postpaid will always go up because that's the nature of the beast.
Let's get the people that are in the live chat a little bit active here. If you are on a postpaid plan, like the same way we did with the 1 and the 2, if you're a postpaid customer, if you got excellent 5G coverage, enhanced LTE, better speeds, press 1 if you don't care if your bill goes up 10%. Press 2 if you think that you'd be very concerned about your bill going up 10%, even with those positive gains. Because, Pete, honestly, my opinion, if my bill went up 10%, but I got better 5G, better LTE connectivity, better speeds, they remove my data cap, they get rid of my video throttle, all that's out the window, but I pay an extra 10%, I'm with that.
Yeah, there's always a price creep with postpaid. Some of it is tied to inflation. Some of it is what the market will pay for a certain a certain service.
You see that in the live chat, Pete? Are you watching?
Yep.
It's really mixed.
Yeah,
It
I was.
is.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Pete.
It is really mixed.
Pete, you're a postpaid customer.
Oh yeah.
Michael, you're a postpaid customer.
Yes.
How do you guys feel about it?
I'll let Pete go first because I'm still watching the chat. I just want to see.
Either way, the postpaid goes on the card. I need the lines running to continue doing business effectively.
Right.
It just happens. I'm okay with the price creep.
For me, I mean, since I'm postpaid, I actually don't pay with the card. I pay, like the old way. You write a check out and you mail it. That's how I do. I'm old fashioned. But
But I'm in business.
well, you're in business. The only difference is I live in a house and I have my own bank account with my own checks, so I do my own thing. But honestly, if I'm being really honest, like it doesn't bother me. As long as I really don't know what to say because like I might not have heard you well, but you said something about 10%.
So let's say that your bill goes up 10% on your postpaid. Let's say you're paying $100 a month now for one line.
T-Mobile in Colorado recently got a price increase of like 6% per line.
I just use the 10% as like a round number.
But I'm saying this: T-Mobile in Colorado got 6% per line if they're not on Magenta because of the universal connection fee for Colorado.
Well, let's take national perspective.
What I'm getting at is postpaid customers do always encounter a price creep, even if it's not from their plan. It could be from their regulatory authorities.
Well, I'm just saying from like
so
their advertisements,
10%,
their advertisements on their walls, they're in the stores. Let's say they used to be $90 a month. They changed it to $100 a month.
Most of us won't even notice, but it would be $99.99 a month, not $100.
Okay, so the increase
because
of $9.
That last digit irks people.
Okay, so they go up 10%, right?
Yeah.
But you get better 5G coverage, faster LTE speeds, no video throttle, no data caps whatsoever. The $10 is worth it.
I like Martin saying include the high-speed hotspot, and yeah, if you include unlimited high-speed hotspot, I'd do 15.
Dude, I think everybody would, because you could get rid of home internet if you had unlimited hotspot.
Like me.
Did I miss a super chat?
Yes, Ellie says thanks for always keeping us up to date.
Pete, that's Eli.
Yo, Sneed, I was actually going to answer your question, but in that 10% price increase, would they include any reason why, or is it just random 10%?
Let's call it network enhancements.
Okay.
So your services improve dramatically from an upgraded network.
And if you're an AT&T, it would be accompanied by an administrative fee as well, so don't worry about that.
All right, so then I guess I'd be fine with that. I mean, as long as my money's going for something to be improved, I'll be fine with that. But if they're just doing it because they can, or it's just complete bullshit, I wouldn't do it. Nah.
So, prepaid customers, let me hear from you guys. If your bill went up 10%, so let's say you're paying $50 a month, it goes up to $55 a month. Would you be okay with the increase if your network performance improved? A little faster, higher data caps, or removal of data caps? Same scenario, but you're a prepaid customer, and we're all aware prepaid customers are a little more sensitive to cost. Excuse me. Prepaid customers are very sensitive to cost. They, with a purpose, are on prepaid, whether it's for cheaper monthly bills or they're on fixed incomes or they just have modest customer needs. So if you're a prepaid customer and you wouldn't mind a 10% bump, as long as your network got better, hit 1. If you're a prepaid customer and you do not want to pay that bump, no matter what it does for your performance, hit 2. Because I think there's going to be a big difference between postpaid and prepaid.
Well, obviously there would be a difference. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
I don't know. Some people are there. People are there. They're hitting 1. and those are prepaid customers. So
Usually, I always like to hear.
Seems to be a toss-up.
What happened?
Seems to be a toss-up if they take it or not.
yeah, prepaid or postpaid, it looks like there's a nice mix.
It's always good to be with that diverse crowd and audience. It's always good because then you can hear from both sides. That's the one thing I like.
A lot of
hear both sides.
65 for two prepaid sounds a little steep.
yeah, but he probably has like the maxed out plan, like as unlimited as it can get. Yeah, there's some people that are not down with the price increase no matter what.
Well, hey, you know what it is? That's a price increase. You got to remember, people in this world, they got to pay bills, man. So if it's not going to benefit them, not save them money, then
Hey, here's Chris Estes. He's got a plan for us, Michael. He says just skip a couple of cups of coffee a week. Save the money.
Honestly, I don't even go to Starbucks. That's money in my pocket. So
I was gonna say, isn't that what Tim Apple said? Yeah.
Dude, I make my own coffee. I get it from Costco. My cream is for a half gallon is 30 cents more than a quart at the
bang,
supermarket.
bang, 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 bang. That's the way to do it.
I make this amazing French press. I only need like a cup a day.
Honestly, you don't even need to like do any fancy mocha crap. Just get some whipped cream and boom, done. Put some ice in there, get your iced coffee.
I gotta address this. UWU 7-7OW. I don't even know
That's
what that is.
that's katakana.
Anyways, they say T-Mobile is garbage. Won't get better in the West like Utah, Idaho, Wyoming, Arizona.
Actually, T-Mobile is doing amazing in Wyoming with Band 71.
The Band 71 upgrades have been great for places like Wyoming.
I can be on T-Mobile throughout most of Wyoming without roaming onto Union Telephone.
Hey, we hit 100 likes. We hit 100 likes.
Yes, 100 likes.
100 likes!
It only took me like 2 years to get 100 likes on a live stream.
So, my other half has family in Utah. I can go up to Wyoming, take 287 US 287 up to Wyoming, 80 west into Utah. I get T-Mobile the whole way now, and if I felt like watching a video, I could do an HD video, no problem.
Michael,
it's amazing.
You have T-Mobile also, don't you?
Yes, of course.
Tell me about your T-Mobile experience in your home region, in your home area.
So originally I was in Brooklyn, but when I was in Brooklyn, the coverage was great. No problems there. When we moved out to Staten Island almost 5 years ago, the signal was very bad. There was almost little to none. In the 5 years we've been here, T-Mobile's made some significant upgrades in our area. So we started seeing 2 bars by the second year. Third year, we started seeing 4 bars. That was a significant jump. Now it's 5 bars, although there are some dead spots here and there. But before we used to have
better than AT&T.
That's for sure. My aunt has AT&T. She came out here and she said, "I gotta get a new carrier because it sucks out here."
Wow.
But when it came though, when we first moved, we had to have mobile boosters. But now we got rid of them, and the signal is great. I can watch Netflix and not have to worry about, it being lag or even low res. I can watch it in full stream, and I don't even care about the data caps because T-Mobile ain't got none.
Right.
Well, they deprioritize at 50 gigs, but...
Well, deprioritize, but still, it's still unlimited no matter what. Even if it's slower, you're still going to get speeds.
Yeah, that's true. The deprioritizing is momentary. It's very short.
Even then, I might be able to... Now that I think about it, I would probably... If my phone accepted 4K Netflix, I could probably stream 4K Netflix even deprioritized.
So, Mikey, you're from the boroughs, right? You've lived in the New York area for a while. Mm-hmm. You've had T-Mobile for a handful of years.
Mm-hmm. I left that area a decade ago.
So, Mikey, would you recommend T-Mobile in the area?
Yes and no.
Ooh, tell me more.
All right. Yes, because as an average consumer, you're going to save a lot of money on your bill. You get some nice performances on your phone with the speeds. Doesn't matter what phone you have, and also
What's your phone, really quick, if you could tell us?
iPhone 10,
Okay.
and it really does a job well. T-Mobile in most areas. That's where I'm going to say my no, but it does a great job. You're still going to have LTE. It's never going to drop down to 4G. So I usually recommend it, but I say no because of one thing and one thing only. Because Brooklyn and Manhattan are the two biggest boroughs, and they're right close to each other. Most customers have an issue when they're in the city with T-Mobile, saying that it's slow, and
That's
also in Brooklyn,
congestion.
congestion. Exactly. So the thing is that most people in where I live, because I live in Sheepshead Bay, I'll be specific, and they had T-Mobile at one point, but it got so slow because of the congestions. They switched over to AT&T. Then some of them switched to Verizon. Then people were switching to Sprint. By the end of the year, before I was moving out, people started ditching AT&T and Sprint and started going to Verizon. Then they started bundling their home and everything with the Spectrum, not Spectrum,
Fios service,
Fios.
stuff
That's
like
it.
that.
Yeah. So if you really want the best of it all, you could bundle your phone with the cable. But now you can do that with T-Mobile with T-Vision. Well, actually, no, you can't. They don't actually have a bundle yet, but they make
I
them.
think
Yeah,
what they do
but
is
after
discount
this
the
merger, we're gonna get the app. I feel it.
You feel we're going to get the app.
I've seen the app. It's good.
Didn't
Anybody
they have
know
one T-Mobile TV?
I have T-Mobile TV.
Yeah, that's
has
what I was saying. I remember that one.
Pete has uh Pete Layer 3 TV,
Yep.
which is rebranded T-Mobile for T-Vision.
Hey,
Yep.
we got a guy from Ostrin. Yo, that's awesome, man.
No
But
strand have in the house.
the home the service text for T-Mobile Home. By the way, T-Mobile, if you need a service tech, they give you a $5 bill credit. You don't pay for the service tech; they pay you.
So it's like an inconvenience fee that they give you money.
It's good.
I don't. You know what, Lawrence?
But
Lawrence's T-Vision is overpriced, $90. That's pretty typical, though. Most cable packages are between $80 and $100.
Well,
actually,
he's
what I'm
not
getting
wrong
with
though. But here's the
T-Vision
thing,
is
though.
cheaper than
Go ahead.
Comcast.
But
What's
he's
that?
not wrong though, because T-Mobile came out and said that we're gonna uncarrier the cable company, but yet they price it
did.
at the same thing, and they don't even include. Here's the thing: you're getting the $90, $100 for regular customers, but you don't get any premium channels. You don't get anything for like a trial, unless of course I'm probably wrong because I haven't tried it out yet. You still got to pay for those premiums, and even then, T-Mobile was supposed to do their home internet, but now with this 5G, it'll boost it. But still, you have to own a third-party internet company and they have to supply the Wi-Fi for it to work. And you're still paying almost what a regular cable would pay if you just bundled it with either Spectrum, Verizon, or even in Brooklyn, Optimum. So he's
Now,
not
here's
wrong for
the
saying that.
thing. Here's the thing with that. It is uncarriered. If I didn't want to continue using T-Vision, all I have to do is give them a call, tell them I want to leave. They go, "Sorry, you're leaving." They email me a return label. No, they UPS me a return box for my box, send it out. I don't get a fee, and I'm prorated for my month.
Yeah, same with Spectrum. We had Spectrum. We just switched to Fios. We did the same thing. We called them up. They don't have no contracts. You could cancel whenever you want. They didn't give us any fees. We
But
returned their stuff. It's the same
that's
thing.
what they meant by uncarrier. Get rid of the contract. With
But there is no
Comcast,
contract with Spectrum, though.
No,
I
they
know.
do. Sometimes they do force
Not
people
where
in
I
Comcast.
was.
contracts.
They had no contract.
No,
They had
you
no.
don't. You
Dude,
don't. Some people do.
the company
I want
I
to hear in the
left.
comments. Anybody in the comments, write down if you got a contract with Spectrum. Write in the comments.
I had Spectrum, and I did have a contract. That's
When did
how
you
I
have the
know.
contract? What year?
Last year, 2 years ago.
That's when they started doing away with the contracts.
Dude, it's your market.
I like right now. My provider is Cox.
Did you say that again? You said it's a market?
You said
It's
market
based
by
on
market.
market.
I can't hear. Sorry, Sneed. Sorry. Go ahead one more time, Pete.
It's based on your market.
Oh, it's based on, well, obviously, yeah. New York is like the number one most overpopulated borough, or not even borough, state. So obviously they have to do no contracts in that state. Although Verizon, they can do whatever they want.
But yeah, the Un-carrier thing with T-Vision is you can cancel anytime, no problem. You're not stuck in a promotion. You actually keep your promotion if you get one indefinitely. You have the option to change it once a year. You have no leased equipment. You're not paying them extra for the box. Well,
Yeah, you
you
are.
are.
$10. You're paying $10 for a set up top, and you pay an extra 10 for the other TVs. So, Pete, I'm not saying you're wrong. Like, Pete, I'm not disagreeing. It definitely is probably better. The only difference is that it's the same equivalence of getting cable TV. The only difference is with that price, for the few extra dollars, you get your internet included. You don't have to keep branching out. They want to save you money. The best way they can save you money is if they come up with their own internet and their own bundle price. Then you have a legitimate competition to Spectrum, Fios. Until then, until you
they're working on that.
Yeah, I think that's the end game.
But until that comes, right now, at this moment, no questions, no denying. At this moment, they're still not able to be a competitor.
T-Vision isn't only in like 8 markets.
Even 8 markets, still, they still don't have enough to compete. Spectrum is in what? How many states?
That's not the point.
Yeah, it is the point. They have more region.
No,
so let me step in here, guys. Hold on a second, okay? So here's the bottom line. The merger changes the game. With the merger, with the 2.5 gigahertz, with 5G, T-Mobile can actually afford to put TV over IP. You get what I'm saying? So then they can do it. So what you're describing, Michael, is possible with the merger. What Pete is saying is that's the end game. It is to bundle services. So getting people a home internet package, giving them TV, and then bundling with wireless.
No, well, that's what I want. That's what I'm hoping.
They won't be bundling.
Well, no, it's bundling as in you can buy all 3 services from us and receive a discount. Right.
But
well, that
if you get rid of one service, they're not going to be like, oh, you're bundled, you get a different price. No, you get the price for that service removed and you lose the discount.
Well, that's ultimately, like you said, that's the end game. But again, Pete, you got to think. You're thinking ahead. Think about it now. A consumer's standpoint of trying to make a decision on their cable bills, on their bills. Are they going to go pay $90 plus $10 extra, the same price you pay for cable, but the difference is you get the internet included, even if the internet's garbage? Pete, we're talking about right now.
What market are you in with that?
I'm in New York market. I'm in the market
where there's everybody. T-Vision?
Yeah, but here's the difference. Nobody has T-Vision in New York.
Do you have access to T-Vision?
Yes. Staten Island has access. The Bronx has it. Manhattan. And I believe there's one more borough. Queens. The only difference is that Queens and the Bronx are the 2 biggest for Spectrum and also Optimum. I don't know if you've heard of Optimum.
My aunt uses them.
Those are the 2 biggest providers. Brooklyn and Staten Island are mainly Verizon. Yeah, that's the thing. T-Vision is only cable only. I'm not saying you're wrong, but it's only cable.
But here's the thing. I think what you've got to remember, Michael, is people don't like to leave their providers because it's difficult. It's new equipment. You got to bring in a technician. Like that part, moving and transferring is a pain in the ass. So like that's part of the reason. And the other thing is because of the way the bundling works with a company like Spectrum, they're like, okay, we'll give you internet, TV, and home phone for $210. When you go to T-Vision, you're just paying $90 for cable. Where's the value in that? So people have to get out of the mindset that the bundling is not helping me save money. The bundling is just keeping me with a company that's covering me with everything.
Okay.
And they have worse service.
Okay, 2 things. One, I have never seen a bundle go to $210. That's after the promotion. They do promotions. That's only at a promotion. I've seen. That's one. That's why we switched.
I've had $230 with promotion on
Michael, I know people that pay $140 a month for internet only.
If that's the case, that man must be doing streaming. Good on him.
No. There's what you don't understand is your experience, your market is so different compared to somebody else who lives in Omaha, Nebraska, who lives in Madison, Wisconsin.
Tom brings up a good point in the chat. T-Vision, for the $100, you're getting 140 channels free 4K. No, and only one shopping network included. They ninja'd it in there. If you want the cheap cable, if you want the entry-level cable that's typically bundled with internet, you're capped at like 60 channels.
What would you be willing to pay, Michael, for T-Mobile's T-Vision, their home internet service, and their wireless?
All
with
right.
5 lines.
Whoa, why'd you
five.
just make it 5? Oh,
Yeah,
like a
why'd you make
family
it
plan?
five? I
Family
ain't
plan?
got no family. I ain't looking to make no family right now.
One line. Okay, one line then.
All right. Okay, so the regular price of TV is $90 now, but let's say this merger goes through, they got their internet. All right. So if I was to pay for all this, I would want to pay around 150 to 100. Well, okay, let me backtrack. 130 to 160, because for that price, I can get hopefully good internet from T-Mobile. I think that they could do that because I've seen reviews on there. And if the cable
It's solid.
service, yeah, and their cable service is also, because again, I want to try it. It's just too bad we have Fios now. But if I can get it for 130 to 160, bundling everything, my phone, my services, my internet, my cable, I would be fine with that. And you know
You can
something?
try T-Vision for a week free, by the way.
I know they sent out a link. The only reason we didn't jump at it was because Verizon gave out a good promotion for 2 years, even though it is a contract. My mom said it was a good promotion. And
Verizon's trying to make it so you don't use T-Mobile.
yeah, I think so. But it's a good cheap bill though. We pay $180 and we get 1 gigabyte of internet, phone service.
What's your upload?
My upload is about 700 without anything, but with everything used, it's about 500.
Everything used, multiple online games going, uploads.
Oh, like that?
I'm at 980.
You've had how much?
980.
Oh,
He's
dang.
in a totally different scenario as, say, you and me.
Yeah,
He's
different.
on municipal internet, which means his city.
$50 a month, symmetric gig.
Yeah, his city is
we're
running
different.
and operating their network, and me and you are paying, a cable company very like high pricing for our internet.
They're
There's a
opening a
difference.
job position for the director of the ISP. Previously, it was the director of the ISP and the power. I'm
Hold on one
applying
sec.
for that
Wait, sorry. Hold on, Pete.
directorship.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Justin. Yeah, well, how am I going to say anything? She owns the house. I live here, so I got to follow her rules as long as I get a free roof over my head. Right?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's how things were when I was at home. I didn't make any decisions.
Yeah, I didn't make no decision. She wanted it. I'm like, hey, that's you. That's not me.
From what I understand, Fios is actually good service. Most people say it's pretty fast, and it's
Fios is great when it works.
Yeah, you're right. All right, you know what? I'll vouch for that. You're right, because we actually had it 2 years previously, but we had to switch back to.
Let me guess. Your fiber line always needed to be jiggled to get you a download.
No.
I've had that happen with Fios people.
Nah, what happened was there was some reason this house was just not built to handle fiber optic. It was just meant to handle coax cable internet. And we found a way to get rid of that.
You didn't dig the line correctly.
Exactly, that's what they did. So they took it out, they redid the wiring, and now it's working like almost as if there was no issue. But I'm going to make sure I'll hold you on to that if there's any wiggling of the fiber optic cable. Imagine some old lady trying to open that box. Yeah, how do you open this? Get shocked and just sent flying out the garage.
No, Herbium doesn't do that to people.
Nah, they lock the box. They don't want people opening
No,
it.
like even if you touch it or cut it, you're not going to get zapped.
No, it was just a joke. It was just a joke.
Steed's a Five is a science teacher.
What'd you
He
say?
can back me up. Steed's a science teacher. Can back me up.
Sneed taught me more than my chemistry teacher. I said it since day one.
I mean, as long as I'm not putting you to sleep, man, that's a win.
Nah, you ain't putting me to sleep. I'll tell you something.
The only way my physics teacher could engage me was talking about killing people with boulders and friction.
I always enjoyed my physics classes, my life science classes.
Sorry to cut in. Sorry. Tom just asked me a question. He says, do I have access to stray fixed wireless internet?
Starry.
Oh, Starry. Thank you. No, we don't have access to that. The only access we have is Fios' internet, Spectrum, Optimum, and if you're lucky enough, Xfinity, Comcast, but they're out in Long Island. That's all we have access to.
Really quick.
Actually, that's a lot of cable providers. Most people only have one.
Well, you know what it is? It's divided into each borough. So Long Island, the main provider is Xfinity. In Queens, and like I told you, the Bronx, it's Optimum and Spectrum. Brooklyn's the same thing, but they choose Verizon Fios. And then Staten Island's exactly the same.
Yeah,
I can speak.
Choices, man.
It is a lot, but you know what it is? It comes down to, I guess, just which one they feel is more satisfying for their money. But I'm actually really hoping T-Vision comes in and actually knocks these idiots out of the park because there's potential for it to grow. I think there's potential. My only issue is just the way it's done right now. Just right now. I'm not saying it's not going to get better. It's just right now. I just hope with this merger we get our 5G internet, and I hope that T-Mobile is able to price it where it actually tops Spectrum, but that it also tells Verizon, we could do you just better. You're laughing at me. That means I'm doing something stupid.
My wife is making faces at me. She's messing with me, dude. My bad.
I told you she was going to come back. I told you she was coming back. Remember you talking all that crap about her?
I think she heard me, yeah, bro.
Is it time for you to get off, Sneed?
Nah, man, I'm in the dungeon, bro, and I'm in the lab. Don't nobody tell me what to do. I'm the man.
All right,
I'm 40.
Sorry, BK Fitness 24. So you have Optimum. So write down your thoughts on them. I want to hear what you have to say.
What I wanted to do with the last part of the podcast, I mean, the conversation is good, guys, and I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. What I want to do is I want to give a big shout out to Michael Frasca's YouTube channel. My dude Mike joining us here in the podcast. I want to give a big shout out to his YouTube channel.
You didn't have to do that.
Listen to me. Just let me do my thing, bro. It's my podcast. All right. So my dude Michael right here in the podcast has really, really good content. His videos are fantastic. His last two videos, one was on Android YouTubers, the most recent one, and Android fanboys. And then he did one for Apple YouTubers or Apple fanboys, I guess.
Both, pretty much.
Right.
I watched that.
Dude, it is hilarious. Like, one is legitimately like a total rant, and I probably laughed for like 10 minutes straight on it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it is true, and people just seem to look over it and glance by and not pay attention. The Apple one I like too, because there's a lot of those guys that we see on the YouTube where their channels are all cookie cutters. They all do the same thing, and the way they do it is the same. And you're basically calling them out on it. And there's nothing fresh about it, So I really appreciated the perspective. So I wanted to shout out your channel, shout out those videos. If you guys go to Michael Frasca's channel, look at those most recent videos. I think you guys will really enjoy them. So big shout out to him, the channel. And I think you guys should subscribe and check out some of those videos because it's really good content.
Thank you. I'm honestly lost for words. Thank you. That means a lot. And my whole goal, like I told you, I tell everybody, my goal is to give people the news on tech and keep it 100% unbiased. And oh yeah, Martin was subscriber 499. Martin is loyal, but I wanted to make these videos because I wanted to explain to people why I'm like this, why I choose to not side with Apple fans, and at the same time I don't side myself with Android fans, because there's both issues on each side. I don't want my personal opinions and other things to influence my ability to give the news to people. So I kind of laid everything out. There were some things I missed, like I was talking about Apple fanboys. I forgot to kind of talk about how they like to brag that iOS is better than Android only because of I think I may have talked about it, but how they literally try to use the whole user interface as an excuse. And I was going to say that you could say that all you want, but at the end of the day, Android has been able to optimize just as fast, if not so close to what Android is. And I forgot to put that in. Some things also with Android, but the whole idea was just to explain to people why I'm like this, why I don't like Apple and I don't like Android as a fan. I just report the news and I'm going to call it out. If there's BS or something that just isn't something worth, if it isn't just worth like supporting, I'm going to say this is false. So that's just who I am.
Michael, from somebody whose channel is all about network performance and like the wireless networks, iPhones are always slower than Androids.
Mm-hmm.
Like flagship. So like Apple's are flagship, right? iPhones are high-end premium devices. My wife has a 10s Max. I have a OnePlus 6T. They came out in essentially the same calendar year. My speeds on Verizon can peak at like 200 megabits per second. I've never seen my wife's iPhone exceed 60 megabits per second. If somebody were to consider themselves a power user from the respect of, I want my device to do as much as possible, like take a network to the next level. Yeah.
Check your boy Jamil's email.
Oh, all right. Am I supposed to just do it right now?
He says we have a giveaway for tonight's broadcast.
Oh crap! I remember this. This
Sent
was
you a $2 super chat telling you that.
I'm not even paying attention, bro. You don't understand. I was like going off on my little monologue. Yeah. Hold on a second. All right, go ahead.
Moderators or no guests are not allowed to enter in giveaways.
Yeah, but dude, this was from last Sunday when JG Tech Blog did his giveaway. So I think Camille said he wanted to do his. So let me work on this. You guys go ahead, do your thing.
Well,
and you can refute what I just said if you want, Michael. Go ahead.
Refute what?
Because I was telling you about how, like, my flagship Androids are always so much faster network wise because of the processors.
Oh, okay. I got you there. No, you're not wrong.
Real quick, we got a new iPhone and a new Note coming out. The iPhone will have bad battery life, perform slightly worse than the Note, have the new iOS, will be upgradable for 3 years. No headphone jack.
Same with the Note. The only difference
the Note
is
will overheat. We'll have Android. We'll have a bigger screen than the Plus.
Mm-hmm.
And make you wonder why you didn't buy the 9.
You got a fair point right there. And Pete, originally me and Sneed were going to actually talk some stuff. I'm glad you brought the iPhone and the Android up. But the iPhone 11, if I had to give it into one word, snooze. It's not a big update. It's really nothing big. I don't understand why people are complaining about the back when they should be worried about the next year one, because there's nothing. Okay, 3 cameras, big whoop. 2 cameras could do the job fine. And they're going to price it at $1,099. They're not going to go $999.
They're also both overpriced.
Oh, yeah. Agreed, yeah. 100%.
Yeah, but they're going to be the fastest phones, though.
They're going to be the fastest, but a year later they're going to be slow. They're going to be slow too.
And speed doesn't justify 1,000. You need to have more compelling features. You need to have something that would make me want to give my hard-earned money to take $1,100. That money I could go buy a computer and I could spec it out, and it would last me 10 years.
You need exclusive access to AI infrastructure to justify costs.
Yeah, you really do. Oh, so somebody keeps saying OnePlus in the comment. Justin, you're absolutely right. Honestly, we don't look at
OnePlus is good. Go with them.
Honestly, you're right. OnePlus is the best. If I could switch today, I think I would.
OnePlus is the best for the price.
$669. They're the only ones right now in the market that I've been watching. They're the only ones that understand what the market is willing to spend. They know people don't want to break 1,000, but at the same time, they don't want to consider $750 budget price. So they study it and they figure we need to meet in a soft spot. And $669 to $699 is that soft spot for most people. And to me, I think OnePlus is the best Android phone you could buy. And I'm going to go on record and say that.
So I have a OnePlus 6T right here. I have a Google Pixel 3a XL. I like this better.
Which one?
Even though I like my Google Pixel 3a XL better than my OnePlus 6T. I know this is faster. It's more powerful. Blah blah blah. I reach for this 9 times out of 10.
I don't blame you for that.
Pixels.
I don't know, man. It's just
Well,
something about a Google phone, I guess.
Well, you know what it is? The thing is that form factor of that phone, the 3A XL, it's something that people are just used to. It's a simple but basic phone that does the job. It answers your calls. You get your stock Android. You don't really need to break even $600. You're down to $299, $300. You get the same experience as a regular Android device, and you still get great features. So I don't honestly blame you for saying that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Even though I say OnePlus is the better choice to buy an Android phone, don't cross out Google because they're the one that makes the software. And the 3A, in my opinion, took everything that every Android phone maker was trying to do in the past year, not 2018, 2019, trying to make budget phones, and pretty much beat them at their own game. They took the 3A XL, put a Snapdragon 670, a chip that's not even in the same realm and generation. It's a mid-end, but yet it's still fast enough and powerful enough to last you just as long as a premier flagship smartphone. So they hit the nail.
You guys know what I use to make all of my videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's this. Everything. I edit on this. I record on this. It's all done on here, this one phone. And the thing, well, I live stream on my laptop, but the thing is like, when you have a phone that you're comfortable using for everything and it can handle everything, it's valuable to you. You know what I'm saying? And this phone doesn't hit the speeds, like the LTE speeds, the processing power. It doesn't do the same as this, but this, it does it all for me, and it does a good job of it. And actually, the battery life on this phone is better than the OnePlus 6T.
And you see, this is why I do also what I do. Because you're the perfect example. What you just said and everything you did is the perfect example of the audience I'm trying to talk to, the average consumer. I'm not talking to no fancy tech spec idiot or some geek bench score looking guy. I'm not looking to talk to anybody with that. I'm talking to simple, average, everyday people like me and you that have money they're willing to spend. They just want to know the truth. That's pretty much who I'm trying to talk to. What you just said. You have a phone that the 6T, you have a 6T, a phone that has 60 hertz display, that has in-display fingerprint scanner, has all this blah, 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 blah. But yet you have a $300 phone that does the job well. You don't need all that fancy tech spec. You get the same. That's what I'm trying to, talk to people like that. Because you really don't need all this stuff. If you're willing to just take something that will help you make productivity easier, something that's beneficial for you, and you don't give a crap about the specs, that's what you need. A simple but basic and effective phone like the 3A XL.
I would pay $1,000 for a smartphone if it was a flagship that had legit like 6,000 milliamp hour battery.
Ooh, that's stretching it. Because even then, the cooling, the amount of cooling that phone would need. Because if you remember Galaxy Notes, they overheating batteries. Because if you're going to put fast charging...
Flagship for Fire Mobile, man. Flagship
for Fire Mobile. There we go. But it's a possibility. We're almost up to... I think the normal now is almost 5,000. We're almost at 5,000.
We're at what for 5,000?
Well, the Note 10, there was another rumor that came out. I was going to make a video tomorrow covering everything, which you guys can check out if you want. The battery size in the Note 10 is rumored to be 5,000 milliamps.
I don't think it'll be 5,000, but I mean,
here's the thing.
I hope.
Well, here's the thing. Apparently, there was a patent that Samsung had filed a year ago that they're now starting to use, and they're experimenting, and it seems like it might. I'll explain it tomorrow, but the patent showed a cooling system to help regulate the heatsink, but also keeping the battery at a nice level at temperature without having it degrade or drain faster. This patent, from what I understand, involves 2 different styles of cooling, with a heatsink and also some kind of extra excess shell. I don't exactly know what that second shell is, but from what I understand from this patent, it is able to cool the phone 60% faster than any heatsink according to the patent. This is the patent we're talking about. 60% faster than the Note 9 and even the S10 Plus and the S10 Plus 5, S10 5G, because the 5G needs to have an even bigger cooling system because that modem. So if they do put this patent in the phone, it will be a big upgrade for cooling. But I call BS on that because, again, this cooling system that you're going for is almost ergonomically and from a standpoint of a hardware engineer like myself that I work with, this seems too PC style. Like you're almost going in the direction of making it a PC, not necessarily a smartphone, because now you're starting to increase the size of the CPU, the motherboard, the RAM sticks, because they're small. So this sounds too PC to me. So I'm not going to sit here and say that it's going to happen, but at the same time, if they can pull this off, I would be surprised because this could change their cooling system. This could change a lot of things. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say.
Well, I mean, I don't. I'm more interested in what Samsung is going to do with the graphene tech when it comes to their batteries and all of that, like really fancy ways of trying to cool the phone from the processor end. Battery heat, trying to dissipate heat. That's obviously an engineering challenge and a design challenge. And we saw what happened with the Note 7.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe we need to reassess what type of battery tech we're using so we can kind of improve overall functionality with things like the processor. Because if you're running 5G modems and you're pulling on lots of different antennas and the processors are getting really powerful, the amount of heat that's going to be produced is going to be 4 or 5 times greater than it was on LTE. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I'm ready for new battery tech, honestly.
Are you including the fact that batteries over time will start giving inconsistent lines of power to the processor, making the processing time longer?
Well, you're talking about just like after about a year when a battery's lost 10% of its capacity.
iPhone literally loses their capacities in 6 months. I had the iPhone 10. I rechanged my battery because it went down to 89 within the first year, and I rechanged it in the start of January. We're already into July. The battery's already down to 91. We're not even at the next year point. And it's not even me. I do a normal cycle. So I charge my phone when it goes down to 10 or even below that when it gets to 1. I use the standard. I don't do wireless charging, even though I have the choice. I prefer, hardwire.
I'm going to do you a favor. You ready, Michael? I'm going to teach you how to charge your phone. You ready?
Let me hear this trick.
All right. So the biggest enemy of a battery is heat.
Mm-hmm.
When batteries get hot, they degrade.
I know that. Yes, I know that.
So when you drop your battery down to like 1%, 2%, it charges fastest, which means it takes the most power at those lower percentages because it's trying to increase. So the most heat from charging is produced between like 0% and like 60 or 70%. After that, it starts to slow down the amount of charge that it takes on. So if you charge your phone when it gets to 40 and then you keep it between 40 and 80, your battery won't degrade as fast because it won't get as hot.
See, I knew that was. I actually wanted to hear that. I'm glad you said that.
I'm going to butt in here for a second. We have more likes than active viewers.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. What's happening in the live chat?
116 viewers, 121 likes.
Wow, that's incredible. Thank you guys so much for all the likes and the viewers here on the live stream. Mm-hmm. Thank you guys so much.
Also, to your point, what you just said, I've heard that actually. So it's not that I didn't believe it. It's just that I needed to hear it from a professional before I was able to do that. So I'm glad you told me. But I wanted to also bring to your awareness, because I've been using betas in iOS 13 for iPhones anyway. They have a setting now. There's a new thing called optimal charging. And I'll explain to you what it is. And you guys, if you want to hear about it, basically all that it does is it caps off your battery at 80% and it holds it using machine learning. I think that's BS because I think it really just holds the battery charge. But all that it's doing is it's capping it off at at 80. And when you're about to start using it to wake up in the morning, then it'll charge it to the 100. They claim that this is going to prevent less degrading. But what you're saying, if that's the case, then why haven't many people, and I'm asking because I want to know, why haven't many people been doing this method? Because most people I know always charge their phone at 20 to 10 to 0 even. So I want to hear why.
So the reason why is there's old battery tech that dates back many, many decades ago. We used to use nickel ion.
Yep.
And nickel ion used to have what's called battery memory, where you want it to always have the greatest amount of capacity that it could have. So you let it die to 0, charge it completely to 100 before you use it again, so that it always learns and stays up to 100% capacity. The problem is lithium ion polymer is not the same as nickel.
No, it's not.
You're just conditioned to think
Yeah.
it is.
So there's no reason for people to continue to charge their lithium batteries like they are nickel batteries. So lithium batteries, the biggest enemy is heat. It degrades the battery and it decreases the capacity. So what you need to do is charge your phone whenever you want, so that way it doesn't get too low, so it won't charge too fast to take on too much heat.
Mm-hmm.
Fast chargers are a gift and a curse. I used to actually use really, really fast charging with my Motorola Droid Turbo. And as soon as I felt the phone getting hot, I took it off. Whether it was 40% or 80%. As soon as I felt it hot, I took it off.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as it cooled down, I put it back on for another 10 or 15 minutes.
I do the same thing. I even stopped charging overnight, and my batteries are staying better longer.
Yeah, and the thing about the iPhone batteries, Michael, and there might not really be anything you can actually do. iPhone battery charging is some of the most frustrating charging I've ever experienced in mobile technology. I've seen people with iPhone batteries that are 4 years old and are at like 90%. And then I've seen like people in your case after 1 year, they're in the 80s for battery health. I don't know what the inconsistencies are. I don't know why it's like that.
Yeah, I don't blame you. And you don't have to tell me. I've had products, like I'll give you an example. So I had an iPod Touch from 2007. I have it to this day. I charged it up. The thing still works as if it was when I had it at 7 years old. I didn't see no degrade. I didn't see no droppage that fast. This new iPhones, and I can speak from personal because I owned Apple products as a kid, but I'm not going to say here I was the king of Apple. I'm never going to say that. I will never say that. But the products from back then work so much better than the products work now. And the thing with iPhone's new batteries is that I feel that because they adopted this new technology with the full screen and the OLEDs and stuff, I feel like, in my opinion, because I use the iPhone 10, I just don't think that they were ready for that change because the phone heats up even on an 18-watt charger. I do what you said. I do unplug it when it gets hot. That's why Apple says they recommend you only charging it for 30 minutes because it'll give you 50%. Because after that 50%, it starts heating up even more. So that's probably why they warn you to unplug it. My thing is like, these products from back then work so much better than they do now. And yet, you're going to sit here and tell me that this is normal? And I check my usage. The only things I do on my phone, I text, I call, I maybe FaceTime once a month, and that's it. And I use YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat. I'm not on those things for more than 5 minutes, less.
You know who does charging the best?
I think I know who you're going to say. Go ahead.
And it's Justin Doggett. He was talking about it. It's OnePlus, man.
Oh, yeah.
Their dash charging, rapid charging, whatever it's called these days. They're the process in which they manufactured and engineered their charging method. All the heat goes to the charging brick and is not absorbed by the phone itself.
That's a smarter thing. That's an engineering trick that's so much better. And in 30 minutes, you get 100% battery. And I've actually seen that in person. I touched the OnePlus phone. You probably could tell me from you. The thing was not even close to being heated like most of these phones are fast charging.
I've never felt this phone get hot before.
So that's what I'm saying. If anybody has mastered fast charging, and I would vouch for it, hey, there we go. He's got his camera on now. But if anybody has mastered
Hey, what's up, Pete?
I figured the other half was in bed since she threw on Hulu.
But if anybody's got it down, it's OnePlus. And that's why they don't want wireless charging. And I'd be fine with that.
Did you hear the rumor of 45-watt charging in the new Note 10?
Oh, I saw the brick. I saw the picture.
Oh, so you've seen it?
It's
Is
a
it
picture.
Is it
So let me
big?
explain. Yes, it is. I'll send you, if you want me, I'll send you the pictures. Basically, it's not a USB Type-C yet. They're not fully on with that power delivery crap because they just don't wanna. However, though, they have two of them. One is USB Type-C, which I think is for the 5G. The 5G phone supports power delivery, but this new Note one, they're shipping it with USB-A. Now,
Wait,
USB-A
what?
is...
What?
Oh, you guys didn't hear?
What USB-A?
They're not going USB Type-C with, like,
Wait
Type-C
a
to
minute. Wait a
Type-C.
minute. Oh, so the one end is regular USB-A, and then the other
Mhm.
end is Type-C to the phone.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. All right. Okay.
I had to
That
clear
still
that up.
seems a little weird. What are they trying to do? Get backwards compatibility going?
Well, you know what it is? They believe that USB-A, and I've went to previous Samsung events. I've talked with Samsung. I actually went to the one where they unveiled the S9. The thing is that they believe that USB-A is still capable, if not in their mind, still the best way of charging. But I'm like, look at
USB-A is
OnePlus.
great, except for the fact that it's three-sided.
And if you look at these computers, they're getting smaller and smaller with the ports. Hell, even Apple did it. They put USB Type-C. So Type-C to Type-C is more simpler, and in my opinion, more better choice and alternative to go.
So I like how Type-C works. You have all these pins that can do anything. So you have one side that says, okay, I'm going to do anything. The other side says, okay, I'm going to arrange it for a device that will take any combination. So you have n times n minus 1 options for the amount of combinations your data lines can go through USB-C. So in theory, you can have a ground line, a 5.5 volt power, and 6 serial 1 gig lines or 8 gig lines.
Pete, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, I
I'm
think I
so
gotta. I
lost
think
in
I
this,
gotta
bro.
tune. I think I gotta tune my my antennas right now because I
I'm
think I
like
just
trying-
heard.
But
How do you know
I
that
was
stuff?
following. I was following him up until he said n minus 1. I was following you until you said that.
sorry,
It's-
I what is it? The USB 3.2 Gen 2. I was given the ability to proofread the specs.
I don't
And what
know.
does the
I'm a
spec say?
fan. I'm a fan of power delivery. I'm okay with it.
Oh yeah, you technically with USB-C you could have 2 ground lines and 6 power lines, so you could simultaneously charge up 6 different cells.
Oh, I get what he's saying. Okay. Okay, that's actually that's actually very interesting. 6 cells.
Yeah, the last iPhone I played with only had 3, so
Wow, that is insane. Like I'm literally find me a phone with 6 cells that'll do that. I need to find a phone.
oh, I'm talking about like laptops.
Oh, you mean laptop? Oh, okay. Lenovo. Ooh, somebody put Lenovo.
Yeah, Lenovo, Acer, HP, they have USB-C chargers. MacBook Pro has USB-C charger. Heck, the MacBook Pro has 8 cells in it. So technically, with USB-C, you could charge all 8 concurrently if the controller breaks out the power that way.
Mm-hmm. I feel like,
All right.
Sneed, you're just sitting in the background. You're like,
Bro, I
what do I
gotta
s-
be honest. This is like beyond my pay grade. I don't know when you start talking about cells and these different types of connectivities. I'm just not versed in it, man.
Nah, I mean, I don't blame you for it, but like, it's just that I've been drilled with this stuff. So Pete, my professor, he drills us with all this stuff. So I get what you're saying. The only difference is like I'm on summer vacation, so I'm just like, I feel like I'm back in school right now.
So, spoiler alert, I am an instructor.
Oh, sweet.
Pete, what you teaching, bro?
I only remember some type of intro course.
Nice, dude. You guys know I'm working on my master's.
But
Nice.
the committees I'm on, I'm working with 2 different PhD students, and I'm an advisor for how the technology actually functions bitwise.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, before I forget, guys, I wrote it down, and I don't want to forget because we're going to wrap up here in a few minutes. Let's go ahead and do our predictions. Pete, you and me, we really dropped the ball on this the last time we played the prediction game. We were predicting when we were going to have the
Yes.
merger approval. Remember that?
So are we going with serious or joke answers this time?
No. I mean, we know that there's an announcement coming next week.
Yep. What
Let's
day are we picking? I'm going Tuesday, my off day.
Michael, pick a day.
I'm gonna go lucky. I'm gonna go lucky Wednesday, because usually on Wednesday I get the highest amount of money made that day.
All right, man. I'm gonna go with let's go with Friday, man.
I'm going Tuesday at 10 a.m. EST.
10 a.m. All right.
Preempted by a stock freeze.
All right, pick an hour, Michael.
I'm gonna go 1 p.m.
1 p.m. All right, I'm going 10 a.m. Friday morning, Eastern Standard Time. I think we'll have like an official announcement. What's that?
Are you preempting a stock freeze?
No, I think it'll be cool. I don't think there's going to be anything like that.
So the reason why I'm saying stock freeze is when you hear merger, like the merger is T-Mobile buying out Sprint shares at a certain value. They're literally doing a buyout.
Right.
So you need to freeze Sprint stock so they can get the value, unless they already locked in the price and I forgot it. But until they settle that, typically the absorbing company needs to put a lock on their stock trading to avoid people shorting the stock.
All right. Well, I mean, other than that, I mean, the timing should be fine. Whatever I don't know. What'd you say? Did you say 10 or
Tuesday at 10 EST?
Tuesday at 10. All right, I'm going Friday at 10.
And I say Wednesday at 1.
Wednesday at 1, so he's got an afternoon time. I'll keep you guys posted. You guys know I'll make a video. I'll either produce something quick or I'll go live. We'll do something for it.
Tuesday, I will be on too.
Because you'll be off. That's awesome.
And I'll be back doing my regular videos on my channel. And if you ever need me, you just let me know when you need me.
All right, so
I gotta publish my playlists, which are me dicking around for 10 minutes at a time inside of electronics.
You know what? I think I'll do a community poll for when people think that the merger will happen. We'll just do it by the day. I'll probably post that at some point tomorrow.
This will be in your YouTube feed, so
yeah, it'll be in the community feed. All right, so let's wrap things up. I want to give some shout outs. First, big shout out to the Discord community. There's a link in the description for that. Join the community, get involved, post pictures, speed tests, interactions with community members here on the SMT Nation. I want to give a big shout out to my moderators, Rafi, Jamil, Pete. You were also moderating today. Was Madbirds in there earlier?
Yep, he was.
I feel like he was. Okay, so big shout out to the moderators, Rafi. Thank you so much, Jamil. Big shout out to Michael for joining us here, Michael Frasca. He's got a YouTube channel. Check him out. Good videos, good content. He'll be back on next week. Hopefully, I'm going to try to get him on. We're going to be doing something a little special with the podcast. So we'll be having him back on in the future very soon. Pete, I want to give you a big shout out for being on and, always, being a contributor here to the podcast. Thank you. I want to thank all of the donations, all the users there in the live chat that donated super chats. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Big shout out to Chris with the PayPal donation. Who am I forgetting? I think that's pretty much everybody, right?
Hey, Rafi, thank you for that.
Yeah. Big shout out to all of the subscribers, all of the viewers, everybody who likes the videos, everybody who watches the videos, even the people that hate my videos and give it a thumbs down. Thank you so much. thank you so much for engaging and, being active, I guess, and participating. I don't really care, I'm doing my thing. Thanks for watching.
A special thank you goes to that Frankie guy over there. You a crazy mofo. Thank you, brother. I don't know where you come up with this stuff, but thank you. We need diversity in this world. So thank you for coming in the comment section, making me laugh.
Frankie.
Yeah, Frankie's a lot of fun. Good night, Gary. Good night, all. I think I'll leave it at that. For Pete, for Michael, I am the SMT, and we'll see you guys on the next live stream podcast.
Peace.
Peace.